can do. They were 2700s behind Luders. That's a comfortable margin, and Luders will be a lot faster at the start. 5:04 for Tossini, expect a 4:90 for Luders and LeBlanc. 4:91, not far out. And they've picked up 2 100s, Luders and LeBlanc really determined. He's had such an unhappy time on the first 3 runs. He'll want a good one here, because he can't expect a result in the 4-man. Not a bad transition there as he comes through Belvedere into Bandillon and wallops it, slides it, hits it again. Oh, an unhappy run for Pierre Luders. 6200s up at this stage. He's got a lot of time in hand. How much of that will go away before the finish? He's lost half of it almost. He'll still be up at the finish. I think Luders will do enough to stay in 8th place, but it's going to be tight. And by 2200s he does a 54.15, 1/100 slow. Who only had 700s in a hand over Luders. Langen starts equally fast. Should really be called a push man, not a brake man, because there's no braking to be done at all until the Bob crosses the finish. And now what can they get away in? 4:92, very much on the previous pace. That's about the average of their 3 push starts, but a slide there before he goes into Stries, Contracurva, Verdi and Cento, and another slide. 200s off the pace, slipping back behind Luders, who will be delighted to climb up into the top 7. He hopes for a top 6 finish. 800s off now for Langen. Can he pull it back? I very much doubt it, but he certainly won't by sliding like that. He must have some pretty round runners on there. Dead level at this stage. This is where Luders had some problems. Well, Langen could pick something up through the bottom, but another huge slide. He must have really incredibly bowed runners, because he's getting the speed despite walloping the side. Not so fast on the clock though. What's the outcome going to be? And an amazing 53.94. His presence will inspire Günther Huber to great things as Christian Reich and Urs Eberhard take to the ice. 4:93 their best time so far. 4:98 now, dropped 400s compared to their 3rd run push. He had 4 100s in hand over Andre Langen. This is going to be absolutely critical for the Swiss. 500s down on Langen at this stage. Where Langen picked up his speed from, I just don't know, apart from super fast runners. The Swiss 600s off, Reich driving better than Langen by the look of it, going straighter, but he's lost another 100, and Langen picked up so much time through this section. Reich gets a slide on. He's gained 300ths of a second. Will he pull enough through the finish to overtake the German? He's behind at this stage. Comes through the finish, and he goes into 2nd place with a 54.07 by 9 100ths of a second. A disappointment for the Swiss. And Kuhn put some warm kit on at the bottom, because they might have to stay up there for a bit longer. Brian Scheimer is up next, and Paul Jovanovic on the back pushed him to a 4:92, 4:93, 4:93. They'll need to get very close to that to stay in 5th place. Scheimer fastest on the first run, only 14th fastest on the second, 4th fastest on the third. 4:94, just 1 100 slower at the start. Will he be able to fend off the German? Well, 3400s was the margin, 3800s in it now. Scheimer should be safe in 5th place, but this is a track on which you can never be sure about the outcome. He's building that margin to 4200s. The Bodine Bob doing its work. Scheimer having to steer a bit there before the Unlaner, and now Antilo and Cristallo. Nice line. Almost clean, shaves the wall. 4400. Scheimer should be home and dry in 5th place. Whether it's enough to overtake Reto Gurci remains to be seen. There was 1900s in it. 53.79, the fastest time I think that we've seen so far. Excellent drive by Scheimer. Guido Eklund. 4:99. They lost time on their start. They should be down in the 4:95. 4:96 would be a good target for him. And they pull another 200s out with an excellent 4:94. Exactly the same start time as Scheimer, and a battle royal head-to-head between Switzerland and the USA now. as he defends his margin of 19/100ths of a second. Is still exactly the same as Scheimer there as the margin after the first 3 runs. Günther getting some nice level transitions out of the big corners, cleanly through Mingeon. Good run by Reto Günther, building his lead to 3300ths now. Günther driving as well as he possibly can. The Swiss maestro so cleanly out of Cristallo, accelerating hard through the straight. Is Christoph Langen under threat? 124 kilometers through the speed trap. A 53.50 from Reto Günther. Pushed him to a 4.85 on the first run today. A new start record here at Cortina. And what can they do on this 4th and final run? Expect a sub 4.85. No, it's a 4.87. And is that portentous? 2/100 slower. Günther was 5/100 faster at the start on his 4th run. Langen 2/100 slower. That will have narrowed the margin between them, potentially by 0.2 of a second. Langen has 2500ths in hand at this stage. Now 23, dropped 200ths there. The next split time coming up will tell us what the result's likely to be. He's extended his lead, 2900ths now. Langen looking safe in the bronze medal position. 3400ths up, finding incredible speed through the bottom half of the track. Langen driving as well as he has on any of the 4 courses, comes through with a 53.33. And that a really excellent drive. Start times exactly level at 4.95. 200ths of a second will make all the difference if they can really haul it out at the start. The French giving it 110%. This start time will be so critical. 4.96, 1/100th down. They have 400ths in hand. Most of that being the difference between the start times. And now dead level, as one might expect, but he could pick up time from here through to the bottom. He has such a wonderful feel for this course. He's picked up 100 now. I expect that to be extended. I expect Bruno Mingeon to win a silver medal for France, the first at World Championship level, but he's slipped back in the middle part of the course. He's going to have to drive the bottom half like an angel to pick the time up. Oh, and he can't do it now. He's 1400ths off the pace. And sadly, it slipped away from the grasp of the French. A bronze medal now, the best they can hope for. And by 53.62, he gets the bronze medal. And Ubaldo Ranzi prepare at the start. Of course, on Antonio Tattaglia, injured earlier in the season, who has to take the rest of the year off. He'll be back next year for sure. But now, Ubaldo Ranzi's moment of glory. Needs to get into the 4.95, 4.98 on the first run. Safely in. 4.98 again. And now Huber will need to have a really good, clean, safe drive to defend that lead under such pressure from Christoph Langen, who knows exactly how to apply it. Watch the wonderful skill that Huber exerts to keep this sled going straight despite hitting the wall. The fast line through is to take a hit, but you've got to let the sled run cleanly, and he does there out of Mingeon. Such delicate control. 2500ths at this stage. This is where Langen picked up so much time. Huber cleanly through, approaching Valletta now. 2100s in hand, 123 through the speed trap, and the new world champion Günther Huber of Italy, 53.66. What a wonderful result. 4/100 slower than Mingeon, 3300 slower than Langen. That does not matter. It's the aggregate of the 4 runs that counts. The celebrations at the bottom of the Olympia Bob run at Cortina have to be seen to be believed. Joy and bronze medal in the World Championships. The first one in 1934, another in 40.